Hey, welcome back. I know this is only my second cooking video, but I know there's a lot of you guys out there that want to lose some weight this new year, and I haven't been procrastinating. I've just been a little busy, but I wanted to show you today how to make a really quick stir fry, like a shrimp stir fry. My intent is to help make some quick meals, like under 30 minutes, because I tell you, I worked corporate America for quite some time, and I never had time to do anything. I never exercised, I never ate right, and sometimes I get on these whims like, woo, I'm gonna do it, and no, I didn't do it. So today we're gonna make shrimp stir fry, and I've got my wok. If you don't have a wok, it's fine, just use a deep pan or something. I've got my knife, I've already sharpened that, and I'm gonna use a sesame oil. It'll really get that grease nice and hot, and those veggies won't scald in it. So really, stir fry is more prep than make. So I have a lot of veggies over here. I've got my teriyaki sauce and I've got my soy sauce. I've got a jalapeno because I like to spice up the heat a little bit. So if you don't like heat, just don't put this in. It's got a lemon. Not going to really put anything in there, just maybe a little squirt, give it a little pizzazz. Today I chose a orange pepper. Carrot, I'll probably just feed a few shavings in there. Ginger, now this is something new to me. I have been working with ginger for one day, and what I'm going to do is I'll probably shave off some of this and then put it in my garlic press, and I will squeeze it in. Not too much. No, I don't like a lot of ginger, but the hint of it is pretty good. So I've got a zucchini. I had a zucchini in the fridge. You can use white or yellow onion, really doesn't matter. Basically, it's whatever you got in the fridge. You can use broccoli, you can use cauliflower if you want. Cabbage, I really like to put shavings of cabbage in there. And I like to keep them fairly crisp, not too tender. And then some mushrooms. I am trying to be a healthier person. This is probably my 30th attempt, 30 years of trying to get healthier since I was 20. So anyway, so then I've got my shrimp. I've already washed the shrimp off and drained it. I have a nice little strainer that I use, like this, probably a few bucks at Walmart, but a strainer is nice to have. You can wash your veggies really good. I'm going to turn on the stove. I'm probably going to put it on a 6 or 7. I really want to get that heat in that oil because when I throw these veggies in, I want it to be hot. I'll put the oil in once I feel like that pan's heated up quite a bit. In the meantime, you know, I just recently started my YouTube channel. More importantly, I quit my corporate job. Just couldn't take the way things were going. So quit my corporate job. I've got a few things I'm going to be doing, like drone services. So I just started my drone services. I got my FAA pilot license for drone unmanned aircraft systems. Pretty excited about that. And then I'm going to try this YouTube thing. I mean, all these 6-year-olds are doing it, right? I mean, I'm 50, so what's the big deal? So I'm going to do all those things, and then we just are launch a t-shirt business next week, so look forward to that. And then I'll probably get my life coaching certificate just because I've been coaching people for over 25 years. I was a high school coach for about 7 years, and then in the corporate world for 18 years. Anywho, enough about that. That gets us to back to the heat that we probably want. So I'm going to put in, so if you notice that was only a few minutes, don't leave it too long. You don't get your pan scarred. So I'm just going to put in, well, there wasn't a whole lot left in this. I like to put in about 3 tablespoons of sesame oil. If you don't have sesame oil, you can use canola oil, vegetable oil, whatever you got on hand. So sesame oil is a little pricey, but it does make it very flavorful. And it kind of gives it more of that stir-fry effect. While that oil is heating up, I'm going to particularly choose which vegetables I want to go in there first. Probably the heavier vegetables, and the shrimp will go in at kind of the tail end because it only needs about 3 minutes, especially with that heat as hot as it gets. I'm going to cut up some of these zucchinis. Make sure I wash those real good. And I'm just going to cut them up. You can do it. You can cut them in, slices, or you can dice them. I'm just going to dice them up, not too small, but I'm just going to dice them up about like that. If you can see, the slices aren't too bad. They're just pretty little, but kind of in quarters is all I did. Anyway, I'll put those to the side, and then I'm going to take my orange pepper I've got. Again, you want to make sure your vegetables are really washed well. And I'm going to just tear this middle out here. And then I'm going to slice these kind of big chunks. I don't like them too thin. But some people don't like peppers at all. So if they don't like peppers, don't put them in. But if they don't like peppers, you can cut them up real tiny and just put the flavor in there. So again, kind of the size of the squash that I just put in. So it's whatever your preference is, really, it doesn't matter. I just like to chop it up real quick and be done with it. And then whatever size they come out to be, they come out to be. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a white onion. And I'm going to cut those onions in bigger chunks. I like them. I don't like them cooked down. I like to keep them kind of crispy like I do the cabbage. That's what I like to do. I like to keep them in bigger chunks like the cabbage. And I like them crispy. So just a couple cuts in those. And I cut quite a bit off the ends. I don't like to mess with the core of the onions. I'd say one rather larger size onion, doesn't really matter. Whatever your preference is, again, to onions. So last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this jalapeno, and I will probably cook it in smaller chunks because not everybody likes the heat like I do, especially my wife. And if you don't like jalapeno hands, because if you touch your eye or ear or your nose, it will burn. So make sure you wear gloves. And I typically wear gloves. I use the Sam's Club ones. They're kind of nice. They just go on and off really quick. And I said that in my last video, but just in case you're not used to wearing gloves. I like to use it when I handle poultry, raw fish, shrimp, something like that. All right, I always like to throw an onion in just to see what the temperature is. And it looks like it's heating up pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that up to 8. And then you want to make sure you're careful. It will splatter. So safety first when you're cooking. Don't want to get that grease all over. But you want to have it really hot because what will happen, if you don't have that heat really high, what will happen is your cold vegetables will get in that heat and then they'll soak down, and then you got to get the heat going again, and then that kind of makes your veggies soggy. So you want to make sure that that fire is turned up because this will only take probably 3 minutes at most. And while that's cooking, I am going to slice. I've already washed my mushrooms. I've washed them before the show. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up my mushrooms again, larger chunks, and then I'll just run a knife through them the other way. Just kind of, everything you do is just really your preference. I mean, how can you stir fry, right? Well, you can if you don't have your heat on the right temperature. We don't like soggy vegetables around here. It just really doesn't turn out so hot. And really, honestly, with the flavor of the stir fry, I mean, if you want to cook in some flavor other than salt and pepper, you can certainly do so. Today, I am just going to do a salt and pepper recipe today. I like that. I mean, it's just simple. All right, so I got my lemon ready. I just cut off a little bit slice. And I got to get moving on my ginger here. Yeah, I've never really cooked with ginger, but I figure it's a stir fry and I have it on hand, so let's try that. I'll get out my garlic press. That is right here. I'll also give that stir fry a toss. It's probably gone for about, what do you say, a minute and a half, maybe a minute and a half. Give it a toss. All right, they're looking really good. I don't know if you can see, but the color is really, really pretty. Just exactly how that you want them to look. So while I'm here, I might as well put a little salt and pepper on it. Again, if you like a lot of pepper, go ahead and put it on. Depends on who you're cooking for, right? I'm cooking for my wife today. She's got to go to work, but I'm going to cook some lunch for her. So I'm going to put in these mushrooms, and I'm going to press in some of this ginger. Again, I'm not a huge ginger fan, but that'll be good enough for me. Squeeze in the lemon. And then I'll get my carrot out, get a little, I'm just going to, again, all I'm doing is giving a few shavings, so I don't really have to peel it. I can just slice them off. So let me just get some slithers here. I don't like a lot. thin if you can, because they're going to cook up. But it's more for decoration. That's fine. I think that's enough. I don't think Carissa's much of a carrot fan. But anyway, let's give it another toss. Those veggies are looking really good. They're starting to cook down. So that means we want to get the cabbage in here for sure. Just cut it up and throw her in. I just slice it, you know, kind of in wedges, I guess you'd say. So let's turn those. Again, I don't like the cabbage to cook down. So I put that in right after those mushrooms. The mushrooms are really cooking up fast, so it's going to be time for shrimp here in about 1 minute. The last thing we'll put in is the teriyaki sauce and the soy sauce. So if you don't like teriyaki or you don't like soy, you can just do one, but I like to mix them up. I'm not a big teriyaki fan, but when it's mixed with soy, I really like it. All right, I'm going to salt and pepper the shrimp a little bit. Just give them some flavor before they cook in there. And now, I'm going to go ahead and put the shrimp in. Now just stir that up. You see how that heat is cooking there? All right, while that is cooking, I'm going to bring my trash over and clean up. Because I think cleanup is part of that 30 minutes. So I think it's really important that you can get the meal cooked and everybody is eating within 30 minutes. Okay, it's been about a minute and a half for that shrimp, so I'm going to go ahead and put some soy sauce in. Again, to your liking. Sometimes I'll taste it after I've cooked it and I might want to put in a few more squirts on my plate. So, but just kind of go around. You know how you put ketchup or mustard on a burger? That's kind of what I do with the stir fry. All we got to do here is wait till those shrimp turn a little more pink, and then we're ready to eat. So again, thanks for watching, and I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Hopefully you enjoy this cooking, and hopefully it gets you off to a healthier lifestyle, and hopefully it will allow you to cook up those meals after work or pre-cook them and then take them to lunch. I always like to cook a little extra, and that way Carissa can have lunch the next day. So really important, I think, when you're really trying to journey down that healthy lifestyle. I mean, January 1, everybody tries to get healthy. Well, I've tried a little exercise, I've tried to cook a little. I've only been doing chicken and shrimp throughout the week. On the weekend, we might cheat a little and have some red meat like we did last weekend, but I tell you, it is certainly, I feel a lot lighter when I don't eat a lot of red meat, and I can certainly tell it around my midsection because I'm not so bloated. So your body has such a hard time processing that red meat. We're gonna turn these. The shrimp is really looking good. It is turning pink. And again, if you like crispier veggies, reduce the cooking time and throw your shrimp in a little sooner. But this is cooking up real nice. I'd say it's been on for maybe 10 minutes total. The shrimp have been in there for probably 3 minutes now. So I'm gonna let it go one more minute. Sometimes I get this fear of undercooking shrimp, but shrimp really takes about 3 to 4 minutes on high heat. Let's get our plates ready here. Really looking good. So hopefully you enjoy this. If you like it, make sure you click the like button. If you want to subscribe, I'll try to get some recipes on here every day, every other day. I'll try to keep up with it, I promise, because I really enjoy cooking. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's kind of like therapy to me. Meals, though, are fun. They're exciting because I'm usually just pulling out anything I got in my fridge. Usually my ingredients are 4 to 5 ingredients, and then that's all I got. We are done. We're going to pull it off the stove. I would let it sit for a few minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and put some on the plate so you can see what it looks like. All right, so here you go. Very healthy, got lots of ingredients, salt and pepper. Again, if you want to put a little more heat in there, you can do that. But this is what it'll look like. So enjoy and tune back in, and we'll talk to you soon.